Did you know that in Africa, there's a small country that blends a European colonial legacy with intense and authentic African traditions? Equatorial Guinea is a little-known destination, but it holds a fascinating history, a rich culture, and stunning landscapes. Despite being one of the smallest countries in Africa, it hides natural, cultural, and historical treasures. And the most interesting part? What makes it truly unique is the contrast between its Spanish heritage and local traditions. But what exactly makes this country so fascinating? Let's find out together. And at the end, I want to know which of these facts about Equatorial Guinea surprised you the most. Drop your answer in the comments, and of course, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Equatorial Guinea is a small country, but it has an impressive history. Located in Central Africa on the coast of the Gulf of Guinea, it's the only country in the region where Spanish is the official language, a rare fact on a continent with so many local languages and different colonial influences. In addition to Bioko Island, where the capital, Malabo, is located, the country also has a mainland region called Rio Muni. But how did this happen? Well, Equatorial Guinea was colonized by Spain in the 19th century, unlike most other African countries which were colonized by European powers like France or the United Kingdom. This Spanish colonization deeply influenced the local language and culture, but what truly marked the country's history was its independence, gained in 1968. Did you know Equatorial Guinea had this Spanish heritage? What do you think about that? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Equatorial Guinea is home to several ethnic groups that make up the Guinean people, such as the Fang, Bubi, Ndowe, and others. Each of these groups has its own traditions, languages, and clothing. For example, the Fang, the largest ethnic group, have unique spiritual rituals and a strong connection to ancestral worship. Dance is a central element in Equatorial Guinean culture. In many celebrations and festivals, Guineans express themselves through vibrant dances and music that blend African and Spanish influences. Major celebrations include Equatorial Guinea's National Day in October and the Bioko Music and Dance Festival. Did you know that music and dance are such important parts of Guinean culture? What cultural tradition from another country fascinates you the most? Let us know in the comments. Malabo, the capital of Equatorial Guinea, is a fascinating city full of history and charm. Located on Bioko Island, it's surrounded by mountains and offers an incredible view of Pico Basile volcano, one of the country's highest points. The city's architecture reflects its colonial heritage, with Spanish-style buildings mixed with modern constructions. As you walk through Malabo, you'll notice an interesting contrast between historical buildings and the modern features of the city, like the Malabo Cathedral and the Sofitel Hotel. And here's a fun fact about Malabo. It used to be called Santa Isabel, named after Queen Isabella II of Spain. That changed after independence, when the country embraced its own name and identity. Amazing, right? Could you imagine living in a city with that kind of blend between history and modern life? Share your opinion in the comments.
Bioko Island isn't just the political heart of the country, it's also one of Equatorial Guinea's greatest natural treasures. With rich biodiversity, the island is home to many species of plants and animals, including several that are found nowhere else on Earth. Did you know that the island is home to some of the last remaining wild populations of western lowland gorillas? Bioko Island is a fascinating destination for ecotourism, with lush hiking trails and hidden beaches. If you love nature and wildlife, this is the perfect place for you. Have you ever imagined going on an ecotourism safari in such a remote location? What would your reaction be if you came face to face with a wild gorilla? Annobón Island, located to the south of Equatorial Guinea, is perhaps the country's most secret destination. Visited by very few tourists, it's an untouched paradise with green mountains and crystal-clear beaches. It's one of the most peaceful and remote places you can find in the world. If you're looking for peace and solitude, Annobón is the perfect place. And for the more adventurous, there are stunning trails and a local population that still preserves its fishing and artisan traditions. Would you be brave enough to visit such an isolated destination? What would attract you the most to a place like this? Share your answer in the comments. Equatorial Guinean cuisine is a delicious fusion of African and Spanish flavors. Rice, bananas, and fish are among the most commonly used ingredients. Dishes like Robalo a la Malagueña, made with fresh fish and traditional spices, are a true explosion of flavor. Tropical fruits like mango, papaya, and pineapple are abundant. Locals love cooking with native fish, such as tuna and sea bass, and soups are a popular delicacy throughout the country. So, now I ask you, do you enjoy exotic cuisines? Which Equatorial Guinean dish would you love to try? Drop your answer in the comments. Although it's a rarely visited destination, Equatorial Guinea has some of the most stunning beaches in Africa. Arena Blanca Beach, with its crystal-clear waters and white sand, is a paradise for water sports lovers and scuba divers. And Lake Bioko, located on the mainland, offers a unique experience. Surrounded by mountains, this freshwater lake is perfect for those seeking peace and quiet, and it's also a favorite spot for local fishermen. Are you more into tropical beaches or peaceful lakes? Which of these natural spots caught your attention the most? Over the past 30 years, Equatorial Guinea has gone from being one of the poorest countries in Africa to one of the continent's top oil producers. The wealth generated by oil has brought major investments, but also created social inequalities and challenges. While some urban areas have seen rapid growth, many rural zones still face poverty and a lack of infrastructure. This contrast is part of what many refer to as the oil economy, one that heavily relies on a single natural resource. Did you know oil had such an impact on the country? How do you think African nations can manage the wealth generated from natural resources? Now that we've explored Equatorial Guinea together, you've probably realized that even though it's one of Africa's smallest and least known countries, it holds an impressive wealth of culture, nature, and history. From its paradise islands and breathtaking beaches to its fascinating traditions and dances, everything in this country seems to tell a unique story, one that blends Spanish influences with deep African roots. But, as we've seen, Equatorial Guinea also faces its own challenges, especially when it comes to social inequality and political issues. Even so, it's impossible to ignore the beauty and diversity of this small country that, for many, remains an exotic and little explored destination. Now I want to hear from you. What part of Equatorial Guinea surprised you the most? What made you think differently about this country? And more importantly, would you dare to visit it one day? Leave your comment below. I love hearing your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep discovering new cultures and destinations around the world, don't forget to give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more to explore together. Until the next journey, and who knows, maybe next time you'll be planning your trip to Equatorial Guinea.